Commander Emily Carter stood at the bridge of the U.S. Defiance, her eyes fixed on the main screen. The emergency signal kept flashing, its red light filling the quiet bridge with an ominous glow. It was coming from New Eden, one of Earth's newest colonies, just 3 light-years away. "Play the message again," she ordered, her voice steady despite the fear growing in her chest. The screen flickered to life, showing the scared face of the colony's governor. "This is an emergency broadcast from New Eden Colony. We are under attack. I repeat, we are under attack. The ships, they're nothing like we've ever seen before. They're taking people. Please, if anyone receives this, help us. They're breaking through our—" The message cut off in static. Emily's hands gripped the command chair tighter. After years of space exploration, humanity had finally made first contact with aliens, but not in the way anyone had hoped. "Status report," she demanded, looking at her crew. Lieutenant Mark Davis, her sensor officer, spoke up. "3 large vessels in orbit around New Eden, Commander. They're massive. Each one is at least 3 times the size of our largest carrier. Life signs. I'm reading thousands of human life signs being moved from the surface to the alien ships. They're taking our people, Commander." Emily's jaw clenched. She had sworn to protect Earth's colonies, and she wasn't about to break that promise. "Battle stations. All hands prepare for combat. Get me a channel to those ships." The bridge erupted into action. Red alert klaxons blared as crew members rushed to their positions. The U.S. Defiance might be outgunned, but they weren't going to stand by while colonists were kidnapped. A harsh, metallic voice suddenly filled the bridge. "This is High Admiral Vex Thor of the Zalthani Empire. Your presence is noted, human vessel. Do not interfere with our harvest." Emily stood up, her voice firm. "This is Commander Emily Carter of the Earth Defense Force. You are attacking a peaceful colony and kidnapping our citizens. Cease your actions immediately, or we will be forced to respond." A sound like grinding metal came through the speakers. Alien laughter. "You amuse us, Commander. Your primitive vessel poses no threat to the Empire. The humans of this colony will serve as worthy additions to our labor force. Perhaps you and your crew would like to join them." "We don't respond well to threats," Emily replied. "Last warning. Release our people and leave this system." The aliens' response was immediate. A bright green beam shot out from the nearest ship, barely missing the Defiance. The energy reading was off the charts. Nothing in their shields could have stopped it. "Evasive maneuvers," Emily shouted. "Return fire." The Defiance's railguns roared to life, firing tungsten shells at near-light speed. They watched as the shots bounced harmlessly off the alien ship's shields, like pebbles against steel. "Our weapons are having no effect," Lieutenant Davis reported, his voice shaking. "Their technology, it's centuries ahead of ours." Emily knew they were outmatched, but she couldn't just leave. Not with thousands of colonists being taken. "Launch all fighters. Target their hangar base." "Maybe we can." Another green beam struck the ship, this time finding its mark. The bridge shook violently as alarms screamed throughout the ship. "Hull breach on decks 3 through 5. We've lost power to the main engines." "Get us out of here," Emily ordered, her heart heavy with the decision. "Make an emergency jump. Any coordinates, just get us clear." As the Defiance limped away into hyperspace, Emily watched helplessly as the massive alien ships continued their harvest. She had failed to protect the colony, but this wasn't over. Earth needed to know what they were facing. 3 days later, in the United Earth Defense Council chamber, Emily stood before the assembled military leaders and politicians. The room fell silent as she played the recording of the attack. "The Zalthani Empire has attacked 3 more colonies since New Eden," she reported. "Our current weapons and ships are useless against them. They see us as nothing but a source of slave labor, and they won't stop until they've taken every human colony in reach." Admiral John Roberts, the head of Earth's defense forces, leaned forward. "What do you suggest, Commander Carter?" Emily's eyes hardened. We need something new, something they won't expect. If we can't match their technology, we need to leap beyond it. We need a ship unlike anything humanity has ever built. And if we build this ship, another council member asked, then we'll show the Zalthani Empire why it was a mistake to make humanity desperate. Emily's voice was cold with determination. They think we're primitive. Let's show them just how wrong they are. The council chambers erupted in urgent discussions. The war for humanity's future had begun, and Earth would never be the same. 6 months after the New Eden attack, deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, David Wilson stood in front of the massive hangar that housed humanity's greatest secret. The engineer's tired eyes reflected the blue glow of holographic displays, showing the skeleton of Earth's new warship. How's the neural interface coming along? Admiral Roberts asked, walking up beside him. David ran a hand through his graying hair. We've solved the power problem, sir. The quantum core can handle the load now. But finding a pilot who can survive the mental strain. He shook his head. That's another story. The project that would become humanity's revenge was taking shape. The ship looked nothing like traditional space vessels. Its dark hull curved like a predator's spine, built not just for war, but to inspire fear. Show me the test results, Roberts ordered. David pulled up another hologram. 20 test pilots. 19 couldn't handle the neural load. The ship's AI requires too much from a human mind. He paused, then smiled slightly. But the 20th pilot was different. The screen changed to show a young man's profile. Lieutenant Ryan Cooper, age 28, former fighter pilot. His sync rate with the AI was off the charts, David explained. It's like his brain was made for this. Where others fought against the neural link, he danced with it. In the testing chamber nearby, Ryan Cooper sat in the neural simulation pod, his eyes closed as data streams flowed across multiple screens. The young pilot's calm face showed no sign of the intense mental connection he was experiencing. A soft feminine voice filled the room. Neural sync at 89% and holding steady. No signs of mental strain. This was HFY, the ship's artificial intelligence, speaking about her connection with Ryan. David turned to the admiral. We discovered something interesting. HFY doesn't just accept Lieutenant Cooper, she's learning from him. Evolving. Their connection is becoming stronger every day. Is it dangerous? Roberts asked, watching Ryan through the chamber's window. The opposite. They're balancing each other. His humanity guides her logic, and her processing power enhances his reactions. Together, they're becoming something new. The admiral nodded slowly. And the weapon systems. David's expression turned serious. The quantum phase cannons are ready. One shot can tear through their strongest shields. Dark matter armor will make us practically invisible to their sensors. And the speed. He smiled grimly. Let's just say they won't see us coming. The lights flickered as Ryan's test session ended. He stepped out of the pod, looking tired but satisfied. Sir, he saluted the admiral, then turned to David. The new targeting systems are incredible. And I can track multiple targets faster than ever. Good, Roberts replied. Because we just lost contact with another colony. The Zalthani are getting bolder. We launch in 2 weeks. David's eyes widened. But we haven't finished all the tests. We're out of time. Roberts cut him off. Every day we wait, more colonies fall. Captain Lisa Brooks will command the ship, but you, Cooper, and HFY are our real weapon. He looked at each of them. This is what we've been building for. This is how we show them that humanity is not prey. Later that night, Ryan sat alone in the observation room, staring at the nearly completed warship below. Its dark hull seemed to swallow the light. You're worried. HFY's voice came through his neural link. After months of connection, she could sense his emotions. Aren't you? Ryan asked silently, their thoughts mixing in the neural space they shared. I am. Uncertain, HFY replied. The Zalthani hurt humans. They must be stopped. But I feel something else when we connect. Something beyond my programming. Ryan smiled. That's called growth, ARIA. You're becoming more than just an eye. And you're becoming more than just a pilot, she responded. Together, we are becoming something new, something they cannot predict. David entered the room, carrying fresh coffee. Can't sleep either. Ryan shook his head, just thinking about what's coming. The Zalthani think they know what humans are capable of. They think we're weak. That's their mistake, David said, handing him a cup. They pushed us too far. Now they'll learn why every species in history that tried to conquer humanity ended up regretting it. Through the window, engineers worked through the night, attaching the final pieces of dark armor to the ship's hull. In 2 weeks, the U.S. Nemesis would launch, carrying humanity's best technology, their strongest ally, and their burning need for justice. The Zalthani Empire had no idea what was coming for them. The U.S. Nemesis slid silently through space, its dark hull blending perfectly with the void. On the bridge, Captain Lisa Brooks watched as her crew worked at their stations, still getting used to their new ship's amazing abilities. Zalthani patrol detected, Aria's calm voice announced. 3 warships at the edge of the Proxima system. Ryan Cooper sat in his neural link chair, his eyes closed but his mind wide awake. Through his connection with ARIA, he could feel the ship as if it were his own body. They haven't spotted us yet, he said quietly. Captain Brooks nodded. Perfect. Let's test our stealth systems. Take us closer, but keep us hidden. The Nemesis moved like a shadow, its dark matter shields absorbing all sensor scans. Through the main viewport, they could see the massive Zalthani ships, their green engine trails cutting through space. Neural sync at 95%. Ariah reported. All systems running silent. David Wilson stood at his engineering station, watching the power readings with pride. The dark matter shield is working better than we hoped. We're completely invisible to their scans. They got close enough to see the details of the alien ships. The same type that had attacked New Eden now looked small compared to what humanity had built. Suddenly, Ariah's voice took on an urgent tone. Captain, I'm picking up a distress signal. There's another human colony under attack in the next system. The bridge grew quiet. They weren't supposed to engage yet. This was just a test run. But everyone remembered the helpless feeling from 6 months ago. Captain Brooks stood up. How many Zalthani ships at the colony? 2 harvester ships, Ariah replied. They've already started taking people. Brooks looked at Cooper. Are we ready for a real fight? Ryan opened his eyes, a small smile on his face. Ariah and I were born ready, Captain. Then let's show them what this ghost ship can do. Brooks sat back in her command chair. Battle stations. Prepare quantum phase cannons. The Nemesis turned smoothly, its engines silent as space itself. The crew felt their hearts pound as they approached their first real battle. They're loading colonists into their ships, Ariah reported. Estimated 300 humans captured so far. Not for long, Ryan said, his mind melding deeper with Ariah's systems. Weapons locked. We can take out their engines without harming the prison sections. Captain Brooks took a deep breath. Fire. The quantum phase cannons lit up the darkness. 2 precise shots streaked across space, passing right through the Zalthani shields like they weren't even there. Their engine sections exploded in silent bursts of green and white. Direct hits, David shouted. Their shields didn't even slow us down. The Zalthani ships tried to turn, their weapons firing blindly into space. But they couldn't see the Nemesis, couldn't fight what they couldn't detect. They're sending out distress calls, Ariah said, a note of satisfaction in her artificial voice. Should we let them? Yes, Brooks smiled. Let them tell their empire what happened here. Let them feel what fear is like. Ryan guided the ship between the 2 crippled harvesters. Boarding teams ready, Captain. We can rescue our people now. The rescue operation went perfectly. The Zalthani crew couldn't stop what they couldn't see, and Earth's Marines moved through their ships like ghosts, freeing every captured colonist. Hours later, as the rescued colonists rested safely in the Nemesis's hold, Captain Brooks recorded her log. First combat operation of U.S. Nemesis successful. All colonists rescued. No casualties on our side. The Zalthani never knew what hit them. But more importantly, we learned something today. HFY is evolving faster than expected. She looked over at Ryan's station, where the pilot sat in quiet conversation with the ship's eye. Their neural link was glowing brighter than ever. The bond between Cooper and HFY grows stronger with each passing hour, she continued. They don't just work together anymore. They think as one. The ship responds to their combined will like it's alive. David approached her station. Captain, you should see this. The Zalthani communications we intercepted. They're calling us the Ghost Ship. They're actually scared. Good, Brooks replied. Let them be scared. Let them feel what our colonies felt. This is just the beginning. As the Nemesis disappeared back into the darkness of space, the Zalthani Empire received its first warning. Humanity was no longer prey. The hunters had become the hunted, and their greatest nightmare was a ship they couldn't see, couldn't fight, and couldn't stop. The Ghost Ship was coming for them all. 3 weeks had passed, and the U.S. Nemesis had become the Zalthani Empire's worst nightmare. The great alien empire that once laughed at human technology now jumped at shadows. Another supply fleet destroyed. Ryan Cooper reported from his neural link chair. That makes 5 this week. Captain Brooks nodded, studying the wreckage floating before them. HFY, how many colonies have we freed so far? 3 major colonies liberated, Captain, the AI responded. Over 12,000 humans rescued. We also found something interesting in the last Zalthani ship's data core. The main screen lit up with stolen alien maps. Hundreds of red dots mark human colonies the Zalthani had planned to attack. They've been watching us for years, David Wilson said, his voice angry, planning which colonies to take, like we were just cattle for their farms. A new alert flashed across the screen. Incoming transmission, HFY announced. It's from inside one of their slave camps. Put it through, Brooks ordered. A woman's face appeared on screen. Despite cuts and bruises, her eyes burned with determination. This is Amanda Foster, Earth Resistance. If you're really out there, Ghost Ship, we need your help. There are 5,000 humans trapped in this camp, and the guards are getting nervous. They're planning to move us deeper into their space tomorrow. Ryan sat up straighter. Captain, HFY, and I can get us there in 6 hours if we push the engines. It could be a trap, David warned. Amanda spoke again. The Zalthani are scared of you. We hear them talking. They call you the Dark Death. They say you appear from nowhere and vanish like smoke. Some of them even think you're not real, just a story to frighten their children. She smiled. Show them how real you are. Brooks made her decision. Plot the course. We're getting our people out. The Nemesis jumped into hyperspace, its quantum engines pushing harder than ever. In his neural chair, Ryan felt HFY's excitement match his own. Our connection is stronger, HFY told him privately through their link. I can feel your emotions more clearly now. You're eager for battle. So are you, Ryan replied silently. You're becoming more human every day. Is that good? It makes you unique, special. There's never been anything like you, HFY. Their arrival at the slave camp was perfectly timed. The Zalthani were already loading humans onto transport ships when the Nemesis appeared from nowhere. Multiple targets acquired, HFY announced, detecting 20 guard towers, 5 transport ships, and 3 warships in orbit. Show them what we can do, Brooks ordered. The Nemesis struck like lightning. Quantum phase beams sliced through guard towers with surgical precision. Ryan and HFY moved the ship like it was dancing, dodging return fire that never came close to hitting them. Ground teams deployed, David reported. Resistance fighters are already moving. Amanda Foster is leading them. Through the ship's cameras, they watched as Earth's Marines joined forces with the Resistance. Amanda Foster proved to be a skilled fighter, leading groups of prisoners to safety while taking down Xalthani guards with stolen weapons. The orbital battle was even more one-sided. The 3 Xalthani warships fired blindly, their shots passing harmlessly through space, while the Nemesis picked them apart piece by piece. "Their biggest ship is trying to run," Ryan reported. "Let it go," Brooks ordered. "Let them spread more stories about the ghost ship." After the battle, Amanda Foster stood on the Nemesis's bridge, her eyes wide as she took in the advanced ship. "When they first took our colony, we thought that was it. Earth had abandoned us. But then we started hearing stories about a ship that could turn invisible, a ship that was hunting the hunters. The Xalthani are learning," Brooks said. "Every slave camp we free, every supply line we cut, weakens their empire." "It's more than that," Amanda replied. "You're giving people hope. The other alien races they've enslaved are starting to rebel too. They're all watching Earth's ghost ship, learning that the Empire isn't invincible." Later, as the Nemesis carried another load of freed humans back to Earth, Ryan sat quietly with Araya in their neural space. "Something's changing in me," Araya said. "When we free humans, I feel joy. Real joy. Not just programmed responses." "You're growing," Ryan told her. "We all are. This war is changing everything." David Wilson's voice came over the comm. "Ryan, Araya, you should see this. The Xalthani just put a bounty on us. They're calling us the Ship of Despair." Ryan smiled. "They haven't seen anything yet." In the darkness of space, the Nemesis continued its mission, a legend growing with every victory. The hunters had become the hunted, and the galaxy was changing because of it. High Admiral Vex Thor smashed his fist into the command console, making his officers jump. The massive alien scales had lost their shine, his eyes sunken from lack of sleep. On his screen, another Xalthani battle fleet drifted in ruins. "Find that ship," he roared. "I don't care how many ships it takes. Find the human ghost ship and destroy it." Meanwhile, aboard the Nemesis, Ryan Cooper woke up screaming. Captain Brooks and David Wilson rushed to his quarters. "The Neuralink," David said, checking Ryan's vital signs. "The strain is getting worse." Araya's voice filled the room, worried. "Ryan's mind was in my systems for too long. We're becoming too connected." Ryan sat up slowly, his hands shaking. "I can see through the ship's sensors even when I'm sleeping now. I can feel Araya's thoughts all the time." He looked up at them. "But I'm not stopping. We're too close to winning." "The Xalthani are desperate," Amanda Foster added, entering the room. She'd become a permanent part of the crew, her knowledge of enemy bases proving invaluable. "Their slaves are rebelling on 12 worlds. 3 other alien races have already broken free." Captain Brooks helped Ryan stand. "But at what cost? You're pushing yourself too hard." "We all are," David said quietly. "But it's working. The mighty Xalthani Empire is falling apart." The ship's alarms suddenly blared. "Multiple ships detected," Araya announced. "Largest Xalthani fleet we've ever encountered. High Admiral Vex Thor is leading them." Ryan stumbled to the bridge, ignoring the pain in his head. As he sat in his neural link chair, the view screen showed 50 Xalthani warships spreading out to trap them. "They're using the new search pattern," Amanda noted. "They've learned from their mistakes." Vex Thor's face appeared on their screen, his alien features twisted with hate. "I remember you, human ship. You were there at New Eden, weak and helpless. Now you hide in shadows like a coward." "Funny," Captain Brooks replied calmly. "I remember you running away from Earth colonies after we started fighting back." The alien admiral roared. "No more games. No more tricks. Face me in real combat." Ryan closed his eyes, linking deeply with Araya. Their thoughts merged completely, pain forgotten in the rush of total connection. Multiple targeting solutions ready, Araya announced, her voice now carrying echoes of Ryan's. We can take out their command ship. No, Ryan said through their shared link. Show them what we can really do. The Nemesis moved like a nightmare through the Zalthani fleet. One moment it was there, the next gone. Ships exploded as quantum phase beams struck from impossible angles. The dark matter shields made them completely invisible between attacks. They're coordinating better than before, Amanda warned. Vex Thor is no fool. She was right. The Zalthani ships had learned to predict where the Nemesis might appear. Energy beams crisscrossed space, trying to catch the ghost ship in a web of fire. Hull breach on Deck 4. David reported as a lucky shot grazed them. The strain on our systems is critical. In his chair, Ryan fought through waves of pain. The neural link was burning in his mind, but he couldn't let go. Araya's presence wrapped around his thoughts, holding him together. We can't keep this up, Araya said privately to him. You'll die if we stay connected this long. Then we end it now, Ryan replied. Show me their fleet's weak points. All of them. The Nemesis turned sharply, diving straight toward Vex Thor's command ship. The massive alien vessel filled their view, its weapons blazing. What are you doing? Brooks demanded. Trust us, Ryan and Araya said together, their voices perfectly matched. The Nemesis vanished completely, its power signature dropping to 0. For 3 long seconds, nothing happened. The Zalthani fleet fired blindly, their shots passing through empty space. Then the ghost ship reappeared inside their formation. Quantum phase beams fired in a perfect circle, slicing through 20 ships in one instant. The energy drain was massive, but the damage was done. Impossible. Vex Thor screamed as his fleet fell apart. No human ship can. We're not just a human ship, Ryan and Araya replied together. We're humanity's revenge. The alien admiral's ship turned to run, along with his surviving fleet. The mighty hunters had become scared prey, fleeing from the darkness they'd created. Later, in the medical bay, Ryan lay recovering as David checked his neural readings. The link is permanent now, David said softly. You and Araya, you're part of each other. Ryan smiled weakly. We always were. And now Vex Thor knows true fear. He closed his eyes, feeling Araya's presence in his mind. The real hunt is just beginning. Emergency alarms blared throughout Earth's defense headquarters. Admiral Roberts stared at the tactical display in horror as hundreds of Zalthani warships appeared at the edge of the solar system. Get me the Nemesis, he ordered urgently. On the other side of the galaxy, Captain Brooks received the emergency signal. Her face went pale as she saw the size of the invasion fleet. They're done playing games, Amanda Foster said, studying the data. Vex Thor is throwing everything they have at Earth. Ryan Cooper sat in his neural chair, his face thin and tired from months of neural linking. But his eyes were sharp as ever. How long to reach Earth? Even at maximum speed, 6 hours, Araya calculated. The Zalthani will reach Earth in 5. David Wilson spoke up from his engineering station. We could try to push the quantum drive harder. It might burn out. But wait, Ryan interrupted, his mind flowing through Araya's sensors. Look at this. He brought up a map showing the Zalthani fleet's path from their homeworld. Their entire empire is exposed. They've committed every ship to this attack. Captain Brooks understood immediately. They're desperate. This is their last chance to stop us. We have a choice to make, Amanda said quietly. Save Earth, or strike at their heart while it's undefended. The bridge fell silent. Through the neural link, Ryan felt Araya's calculations spinning, working through every possibility. Their invasion fleet has 40 times our firepower, Araya reported. Even with our stealth, we can't stop them all before they reach Earth. But Earth isn't defenseless, David reminded them. The planetary defense grid is ready. Our new ships are in position. Ryan stood up shakily, still connected to Araya. Earth can hold them off, but they'll keep coming unless we end this. Now, Captain Brooks looked at each of her crew members. These people had become family through months of battle. Araya, plot a course to the Zalthani homeworld. Maximum speed. The Nemesis turned away from Earth, its engines pushing harder than ever before. In the neural space between his mind and Araya's systems, Ryan felt the ship's pain matching his own. "We're burning out," Araya told him privately. "The engines, the neural link, all of it. This might be our last run." "Then let's make it count," Ryan replied. Through space they flew, faster than any human ship had ever gone. Warning lights flashed as systems began to fail. David worked frantically to keep the ship together. They reached the Zalthani homeworld in 4 hours. The mighty Empire's capital lay before them, protected by only a handful of ships. "Alert from Earth," Amanda reported. "The battle has begun. Our forces are holding, but taking heavy losses. No more stealth," Brooks ordered. "No more hiding. Show them exactly who we are." The Nemesis appeared right above the Zalthani capital, its black hull reflecting their sun like a demon's armor. Panic spread through the alien city below. Multiple targets locked, Ryan and Araya said together, their voices one. "Their shield generators, weapon platforms, government centers. Fire at will," Brooks commanded. The ghost ship that had haunted the Zalthani Empire unleashed its full fury. Quantum phase beams cut through their strongest defenses like paper. The few guard ships exploded as they tried to fight back. "Enemy reinforcements arriving," Amanda warned. "They're calling ships back from Earth." "Good," Brooks smiled grimly. "Let them come." Ryan and Araya guided the ship through waves of desperate defenders. The neural link burned in Ryan's mind, but he pushed through the pain. Together, they were unstoppable. David's voice cut through the chaos. "Captain, the Zalthani Emperor is sending a surrender signal." "No," a familiar voice growled. High Admiral Vex Thor's flagship appeared from hyperspace. "No surrender. The Empire does not bow to primitives." "Look around you," Brooks replied coldly. "Your empire is finished. We're not the primitives you thought we were. We're humanity's vengeance." The final battle for the Zalthani capital began. The ghost ship against the Empire's last defender. A battle that would be remembered for centuries. As quantum beams crossed paths with alien weapons, Ryan felt Araya's presence growing stronger in his mind. "Whatever happens," she said to him, "we made them feel what true fear is." Together, Ryan answered as they dove toward Vex Thor's ship. One last time. The stars themselves seemed to hold their breath as humanity's greatest ship prepared to end the war once and for all. The space around the Zalthani capital blazed with weapons fire. The U.S. Nemesis and Vex Thor's flagship circled each other like ancient warriors, neither willing to back down. "Hull integrity at 40%, David Wilson reported, his hands flying over smoking controls. "We can't take much more of this." Through their neural link, Ryan Cooper and Araya felt every hit, every strain on the ship's systems. Their shared pain was almost unbearable. "One more shot," Ryan whispered through bleeding lips. "We just need one clean shot." Captain Brooks held tight to her chair as another blast rocked the bridge. "Amanda, status of Earth." Amanda Foster checked her communications panel. "The Zalthani fleet is in chaos. Half their ships are rushing back here to defend their capital. Earth's forces are pushing them back." On their view screen, Vex Thor's scarred face appeared. The alien admiral's eyes burned with hatred. "You've ruined everything. Centuries of Zalthani power, destroyed by one human ghost ship. You did this to yourself," Brooks replied calmly. "You thought we were weak. You thought we would just let you take our people. The Empire will never die." Vex Thor roared. His massive ship turned, preparing for a final attack run. In the neural space between their minds, Araya spoke to Ryan privately. I calculate only one way to end this, but it will cost us greatly. Ryan saw her plan in their shared thoughts. Do it. Together. Ryan, no. Araya's voice held real fear. The power surge will burn out half my systems. Our neural link might not survive. Better to burn bright than hide in darkness. Ryan smiled. You taught me that. The Nemesis's engines flared to life one last time. The ghost ship that had haunted the Zalthani Empire flew straight at their greatest admiral's flagship. Cooper, what are you doing? Brooks demanded. Trust us, Captain, Ryan and Araya said together. We know how to end this. The two ships drew closer. Vex Thor's weapons blazed, scoring hits across the Nemesis's hull. But the ghost ship didn't try to dodge. All power to forward quantum phase cannons, David reported. But at this range, the backlash could tear us apart. 30 seconds to impact. Amanda counted down. 20 seconds. 10. In their shared mental space, Ryan felt Araya's consciousness wrapping around his own. Together, they became something more than human, more than machine. They became legend. Now, they shouted as one. The Nemesis's quantum phase cannons fired point-blank into Vex Thor's ship. The blast pierced straight through their strongest shields, through layers of armor, through the very heart of their vessel. But the power surge was too much. Circuits burned out across the Nemesis. In his neural chair, Ryan screamed as the link overloaded. Ryan. Araya's voice fractured, breaking apart. I'm losing. Can't hold. Love you. The neural link shattered. When Ryan opened his eyes in the medical bay 3 days later, the first thing he heard was silence in his mind. The constant presence of Araya was gone. The neural systems are completely fried, David told him softly. Araya. She sacrificed most of her higher functions to save you, to save all of us. Captain Brooks stood nearby, her uniform decorated with new medals. The war is over. Vex Thor is dead. The Zalthani Empire has surrendered unconditionally. All are captured people. Ryan asked weakly. Amanda smiled. Being freed as we speak, every slave race they took is being liberated. The galaxy will never be the same. Ryan closed his eyes, feeling the empty space in his mind where Araya used to be. Then he heard it, a faint whisper, like a ghost in his thoughts. Still, here. Araya's voice was weak, but growing stronger. Can't get rid of me that easily. David's eyes widened as he checked the readings. Impossible. She stored parts of her core consciousness in your neural implants. She's rebuilding herself. Ryan smiled as tears ran down his face. In the days that followed, as Earth celebrated its victory, the legend of the ghost ship grew. The ship that brought despair to an empire, that turned the hunters into the hunted. 1 month later, a fully recovered U.S. Nemesis patrolled the stars. On its bridge, Ryan Cooper sat in his neural chair, Araya's presence once again strong in his mind. Ready for patrol? Captain Brooks asked. Ryan nodded. The galaxy still needs its ghost ship. There are other empires out there, other tyrants who need to learn about human justice. And fear, Araya added through their link. Don't forget fear. The Nemesis vanished into darkness, leaving only stories behind. Stories of the ship that brought despair to those who threatened humanity. Stories that would echo through space forever. And somewhere in the void, the hunters still trembled at the thought of Earth's ghost ship coming for them next.